All right, guys, we're here. This is Life and Times. Once again, guys, we're here with like one of the most special guests that I could like. That's here. Nah. We're not gonna do that. You're a very special guest, guys. You know what I'm saying? Especially for for us that like enjoy cameras and and things of that nature. You know what I mean? We're here with somebody that's probably taking pictures of every single person that you could ever think of in the last like 3 or 4 years. Like
Try to.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's worthwhile, and even people that's not, like, you know what I'm saying? And definitely a very distinct style all the way across, a very distinct face, distinct voice. You know what I'm saying? You know him if you see him. Sorry, my good friend here, Chris Long, guys.
What's up? Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you asking me to be on here. So
I'm happy that you wanted to get on here, man.
No,
you know
of course, yeah. No, I love like I was telling my homie that gave me a ride over here. I'm like, oh, he's a photographer friend of mine, and he has this podcast he has going, and he's been doing it for like a little second now, and I'm like, I just want to do it just because like I want to. I like to support people doing, you know what I mean? Like I like to support people doing their thing, like, especially other photographers and people like in this industry that I know that like.
Appreciate it, no man. I mean that's like, as I when I first met you, I wasn't doing this shit at all. You know what I'm saying? But as time grew on, I was like, oh yeah, we got to, you know what I'm saying? And it's very hard to find someone you can just talk cameras with.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's not an easy dialect. It's almost like another language. You know what I'm saying? But it's very nice to know that we have somebody here that's as good as you, that that still is keeping their ear to the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, that's how. I mean, I learned this doing this stuff. I've been doing the filming thing for a long time, but in this rap kind of industry thing or whatever, quickly early on, I just figured it out. Because I already knew, like, just being, as a camera person, like, especially like getting access and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not in competition with anyone. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck enough about to be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care anything like that. I'm happy for like all my friends when they get like awesome jobs and they do like really cool stuff. Sometimes I'll be like, oh damn, that's sick. I wish I got to do something like that. But you know what I mean? But like
that's regular.
But that's just normal. But I'm not out here in competition with anybody, and I think that is a big, like if we are all out here helping each other, because us photographers and shit, we're kind of like the lowest in this industry. Like we're like almost one of the most important to an artist, like with their image and stuff like that, and like getting content and all this stuff, especially in this day and age. But yeah, very underpaid, overlooked, you know what I mean?
The
like
whole nine.
All that stuff.
The quietest in the room.
If I'm somewhere, like if I'm on stage with an artist and I can like see a photographer I know and I can get them a pass and I can get them, you know what I mean? Like I do that all the time. Cause I'm like, I know if I'm at somewhere and I'm the one down there and I'm trying to get like a good photo and they're the one with the artist, they're going to be like, oh, Chris helped me. You know what I mean? So I'm going to help him right now.
Exactly.
So I just try to like do that way. And honestly, it works. I've made a lot of photographer friends and we always help each other out. And I'm in like several like group chats on like Instagram and stuff like that.
Oh,
with, like, different photographers, like like Garrett Bruce, Armin Kaleshian, and just like a whole bunch of different people. And like, we're always like, hey, anybody in LA have this type of camera or can shoot this, or anybody in New York, available to do a shoot, and we're always giving each other work.
Exactly.
And
add me to this add me to this group chat. I need to be in this group chat. Add me to this group chat. This sounds fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
That's it. It's very noble, the fact that that I feel like photographers all kind of get together. Videographers is another talk, but I feel like photographers definitely have like more of a camaraderie, as thing. And I feel like a lot of us all have the same cameras, or at least have gone through the same ones or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? But I think it's even more, I guess you could say, more valid to say we're film photographers too at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Which is still not a niche anymore, to be honest with you. If it was a niche,
it is, but it isn't.
It is, but it isn't. But it's fucking expensive.
I mean, like, I'm not even gonna lie. I saw some girl the other night pull out a like a film camera, like what I mean, taking photos at like the bar, and I was like, it's not. It is, but it isn't.
It is, but it isn't.
Like, but I'm glad. I like people. Like I see, and even a couple of weeks ago, I saw a girl with like a disposable camera. Like I like to see that. Like I like to see people. I'm like, oh, it's cool that people are like
actually
doing that
getting
and like keeping that like nostalgic. Because it's not the same. The phone, even digital. I mean. Like a lot of my friends, like Armin and Garrett, they shoot digital, you know what I mean? And they shoot phenomenal photos. But like for me personally, like that's just not like I've shot digital before. I'm like I don't like it. You know what I
Too
mean?
fast.
I like something about just the point and shoot kind of like
Yeah.
it is what it is. I don't care if it's a disposable camera from CVS or whatever. Like I like that kind of just it could be
just
good,
straight,
it might not be good, and it's just like and I surprise myself when I take a good photo. And I'm like, holy fuck, this photo actually came out really good. I really like this photo. Like I'm surprised. It's exciting.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
No, I'm the same
Not
way.
like, oh, this photo's all right. Let me like edit it and everything and make.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like no, I'm like
it comes
like,
straight out perfect, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I try to say that too. It's like, yo, digital's cool. Digital's fun, you know, for whatever it is.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's great, you know, but it's too fast, and it just doesn't have that type of
for this is for what I'm doing. I feel like the film captures things in like a special way. It makes it feel
moment.
special. Yeah.
Yeah, it's capturing a moment. You know what I'm saying?
But I understand if you're at a show, you know, you're at a concert and you're shooting, like digital's definitely the way to go. Like, my photos half of them come out like shit. You know what I mean? So
they're fucking horrible.
Yeah, but usually at a show I'm more concentrating on like filming. You know what I mean? Like I like to get portraits. And I like to get the candids. But portraits is my favorite thing to shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So shooting at like a show is like, I shoot them. Sometimes I get good shots. Sometimes they're just blurry fucking messes, but whatever. It's still cool to me. A lot of the blurry ones are my favorite ones anyway. So
no, yeah. I mean, no, that's what I was going to say too. I mean, we're getting so far ahead of ourselves. But well, before we get into that, let's kind of back up for anybody that doesn't know exactly, you know, where you're from, who you are, type shit. Just give us a nice little overview. You know, where you're from. You know, what's going on. You know, that kind of thing for us.
Okay. My name's Chris Long. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm from like a small town out of Boston. So I grew up in the suburbs of Boston.
I would have never guessed that.
And I lived in Boston a bunch. I went to school in Boston and stuff. I didn't move to California until I was like 27 years old. So I grew up riding BMX bikes, which is like similar to like the skateboarding vibe.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean?
The whole
going out making like BMX videos. And that's what I just did for fun, kind of growing up my whole life. And even like well into my 20s, it was like work, a regular job, and then like, you know, after work, on the weekends, we would still go out riding. And, and I was just the guy. The BMX community is small, so it was kind of easy at one point when I kind of like started to take it more serious. Kind of like when HD cameras first came like available to people. Like I was like one of the first people in BMX with like an HD camera, so that kind of like made me a little bit like one kind of step ahead.
Yeah, you're definitely ahead of the curve.
I had a friend that had like a BMX blog, which was like a popular one. So anything I did would instantly get posted. And then, you know, BMX is small. Everybody knows each other, and especially in New England, you know, like Massachusetts and like
area.
You know, you can only ride in the summer a few months, and then it's like skate parks, and so everybody kind of knows each other.
Yeah.
So like I became like kind of one of the almost the only go-to like filmer in that area. There was like one or two other ones, but you know, for kind of everyone, like you know, like the pros that were from over there, I ended up doing videos for them, and so I just like slowly started like making money and like
bringing some traction in there.
You know, as like second, I was still working a job, and it was just kind of like for fun, and I just did that for a while. My little brother became a pro rider.
Oh wow!
So and I think, you know, we had a lot to do with helping each other because, you know, my brother's really good. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, just don't make anybody a pro rider.
But like,
nowadays.
I was able to film him, so I was able to film him, pull out content out of him, and he was able to get noticed and like picked up. And then he got noticed, and then they started like hiring me to like go on trips and film. And like I get hired by different bike companies or whatever to just go on trips with film and stuff. And then eventually I got offered a job to become like the team manager and like the filmer, photographer for like a BMX frame company and a parts company. So I moved to California.
And that's just what made you. It was though the company was out here.
The company was out here. Yeah, so I came out here to just do that. And I was like, at that time, I was not in college anymore. I was working for my family doing construction, like in the union.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
which is great money. Like I was probably making like $1,500 a week, maybe. Doing that with like great benefits, and I moved here to make like $1,500 a month. You know what I mean?
No,
so like,
exactly. Gotta chase the dream though.
Yeah. So I moved into a house with like a bunch of BMX. It was like a 6-bedroom house, I think, and there was probably like 10 of us living there.
Goddamn.
And then it was like a spot that like a lot of BMX people or companies
were
traveling through. So there'll be a lot of people traveling through. There'll always be like people sleeping on the floor and shit.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
always like 20 people in the house at like all times. It was fun though.
It was
You
a
know, it
melting
was like a
pot. No,
BMX frat house for a while,
that's
but
like
it was
a
like it was
melting
cheap.
pot.
No one has money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're all just fucking grimy and
We
like,
all do the same thing.
yeah, wake
you
up
know
every
that?
day, go ride, and go to the bar at night. It was like same shit, you know, over and
Nothing
over
wrong
again.
with that. You know what I mean?
And it was good. Yeah, so
And
I
then
did that
from-
for a while, and
you know.
then eventually, you know, being in California, over time, like one thing led to another, and then somehow started working with rappers. You know?
Yeah, so then how did you get tired of doing that scene, or was it something that you're like, oh, it kind of fell in your lap, or like kind of how did you make that? Because that's a crazy like.
Well, what happened
what I'm saying?
was, I moved out here with like Adam 22. I mean, most people know that.
Most people know that.
And we did the BMX stuff together. And like the podcast was started like when we like lived together. And it was like BMX stuff then.
Yeah.
And so the podcast was like around when we were like doing the BMX stuff, and we went to my friend's garage, and then eventually like Adam and my other friend opened the store, and then the store was a thing, and then I think he kind of started doing the podcast again. But around that time, that's when I kind of got burnt out on the BMX stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just was like, I was just over it.
I mean,
just
there's so
didn't wanna
much
do
time
anymore.
doing it though.
And then you know, Adam and I lived together. Then he moved to LA. And with the store, and I knew then at the too, like it was like a BMX store. It wasn't like work for me to do or anything.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
come through like, you know, and help out randomly
Yeah,
when
little
things are
things.
needed and stuff. But I was just doing my own thing for a while. I was still doing photography and stuff, but like I ended up just like, you know, working like some dispensaries, and I was trapping and shit like that for a couple of years. And
They do what you got to do.
you know, I ride motorcycles, and I was always still like filming and taking photos, but I was just like doing like motorcycle stuff at that time, or just on my own, just like personal, just whatever. And then when they moved, you know, No Jumper from downtown to the Hollywood store or whatever, I like kind of started coming back around a lot. And then I was just around and helping, you know, just filming stuff. I was helping with the store stuff, helping with like everything, like kind of randomly. You know, I was helping them like make like paint and do all that stuff in the beginning. That's how like I was
You're
like
doing all the handyman
I was
shit,
doing all that shit in the beginning, and then I was helping them like with the store itself, and then I would help filming
Some of the podcasts,
all that stuff,
the
like
podcasts.
whatever technical stuff. I usually was like the kind of go-to person for like technical stuff, whatever, because I knew all that. But I think at that time, like podcast was pretty on cruise control until they started like upgrading equipment, and then and then I would be with Adam like, and then just kind of one day I was just like, well, I should just
do your own thing.
Film like we used to film BMX. Like when we were filming BMX, we'd be out filming like this BMX stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, we'd always do these behind the scenes things too with the BMX stuff. And like those were always like the fun videos, which essentially are now just vlogs. You know what I mean? But and I just took the camera out one day and filmed us hanging out or whatever. And he was like, oh, I loved it. It did really good. And I just kept doing it. And then I was just around. You know, in my eyes, I'm just doing like the same type of filming I was like BMX. You know, just hanging out and just filming what's going on. But
adapting
then
it to something else.
And it just turned into, you know, all the rappers and everybody that were coming through and doing all those interviews and stuff like that. And then, that's how I started meeting all these rappers and everybody. And then I just, you know, I ask myself sometimes, like, I don't know why people like me and let me film them like their lives like this and like hang around them like this. I have no idea, but. You know, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like I just hang out and I honestly just be people ask me all the time, like, I don't know, I just be myself. And usually myself is like pretty quiet introvert, and I just smoke a lot of weed and like don't really say much. So I think I just like kind of don't get in the way, but like, you know, then you start to get to know people and you know, I don't know. I still question, I'm like, I don't know why the fuck people let me around film them like this. I don't know why people like me at all, but you know, it's cool and I'm thankful. You know what I mean? That I'm able to capture these moments, you know, because
exactly. No, and I mean, you know, out of all the things I've known, like, I've kind of forgot that you was doing all that. You were definitely the only, or the front man for the whole, you know, for that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think at the same time, I mean, it's interesting to see that, you know, you're adapting kind of one philosophy to another, and then, you know, it working, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, especially at such a delicate time, or like such a, I guess a renaissance per se, you know what I'm saying, of coming off of, no one, the vlogs were a thing, but those type of vlogs weren't a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To a degree where it was more like kind of raw. Like you see, you guys just hanging
Yeah.
out. It wasn't really anything staged. It wasn't, we're going here today. It was just like, pick up the camera, turn it on.
That's
and
what I like to really like reiterate in my vlogs too. With all this stuff, that's why like people are always like, do more vlogs, do more stuff. And I'm like, if I'm not doing anything, I'm not filming anything.
You're not filming anything.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know how it is working. You know what I mean? Like, Trippy was just in town. You know what I mean? Like for like 2 weeks, I was with him, every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then Ski was here, and I was with him for a couple of days. And then, now no one's here. So now I might not. Essentially, might not leave my apartment for the next 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Low key, like, if I don't have shit to do, like, I don't really go out too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go out if I know someone's like, sometimes I'll just pull up and just hang out in the studio or whatever. But like, like when Trippy was here, like, obviously I'm filming, and that's gonna be a vlog. But if I have nothing really going on, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna film nothing just to put something out.
Put something out there.
That's kind of like, I really have to stand by that, because like I don't want to be a corny, because I don't want to be a YouTuber. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber.
Not a YouTuber.
But
no, definitely not.
If I'm going to be putting out YouTube videos, like, they have to be like, I'm doing this. You guys can get, and that's kind of like when I started doing like the vlogs on my own channel and stuff like that. I thought about this when I was with Juice, because I obviously like I just dropped that Bandit behind the scenes. Like,
I was gonna say we could definitely get into how you met him. We could do that. You know what I'm saying? This continue your last thought. I was gonna say that was where I was gonna take this next.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I obviously thought about doing my own stuff then, because like I filmed that Bandit behind the scenes as like content for my own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But it just was, there was no urgency for me to like be on like top of the YouTube thing, so I didn't do anything.
Exactly.
And then I think I did like 1 or 2 little videos like before Juice passed, and then after Juice passed, and then like I was on tour with Trippy, and I'm like, all right, I'll start kind of doing videos again. Like I did one at like the tail end of the tour, which was like the beginning of COVID, and then I was like, oh, whatever. But then I'm like going to Trippy's house like during COVID, and I'm like, I'm gonna go there. I stay there sometimes. I go to Trippy's house. Like, I don't call anyone. Like, I just drive to Trippy's house. The security at the gate knows who I am. They just let me through usually, or sometimes I call. But like, if someone I know, they're just like, let me through. And I get to Trippy's house, and then I just like usually just walk in. I'll just be in his kitchen like making cereal, or just like walking around the house, walking to the studio, and then like I'll bump into like Trippy or one of the other guys. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
And then I'm like thinking to myself, like, all right, to me, it's no big deal. I'm just like trying to stay busy, or just like get out or whatever and hang out with the boys. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, well, I'm going to like this like huge artist house that people would just die to just meet. You know what I mean? And I'm just hanging out like, these are just my friends that I grew up with that live next door to me. I'm just like walking in the house, like going through their pantry, like no problem.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, I should vlog. This is the stuff I should have vlogged.
This is stuff that people want to see.
Like,
you know what I mean?
There was a lot of times I'd go to Tripp's house and I'd be doing nothing, which obviously I wouldn't. But then I'd be there, and then we'd be recording the studio, or be fucking around and like having fun one night, and all like goofing around, and like, all right, this is good stuff, you know. So that's my thing with the vlogs. If I'm not doing anything, there's nothing to do. Like, I'm not gonna put anything out. Sometimes I have like a lot of back footage to go into, and I can like bring old videos up and like stuff like, oh, well, but there's this, or there's like whatever, because I have so much footage, you know what I mean, over the years of just so many different artists too. But yeah, if I'm not doing anything, I don't really have content. I want it to be natural. I want it to be raw. Like I did go to school for filmmaking, and documentary is what I like focused on, or majored on. It was good. I liked it. I didn't go to school until like I was like 23, and I didn't finish school either. I did 3 years, and I like couldn't get any more loans to go or whatever. But I like school a lot. I wanted to go to school, and it was like it was really hands on. So and I like, it's hard to say, because like it's not anything most people can't go on the internet and learn these days. You know what I mean? Like YouTube,
University.
But it's like it gives you like a different kind of. It's like you're you're hands on with people that have experience, and like I learned well that way. You know what I mean? So, and you meet people. You know, you make a lot. It's networking wise, it's good. You meet people, you learn things like tricks of the trade or whatever from working professionals and stuff like that. And it was just, no, it was good. I liked it a lot.
So you believe, so you know, the big debate that we have, not on here, but I have it on here with certain people, you know, that going to school for an art is kind of a waste.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I'm kind of, I mean, in certain things I've said no, like, I mean, it's not too bad because you kind of learn, you know, certain things that you might not, you know, that you'll run into later.
Yeah.
But I think the overall thing that people kind of not misconstrue, but the argumentative part about it is, you know, trying to make your own style through going to school. Yeah. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that comes later, but I think the groundwork of it is kind of what you pay for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No here nor there. I'm guessing, you know what I'm saying? Because I never went. But
yeah,
you know?
I mean, you know, it was. I mean, I don't know. I had a good experience. I mean, I didn't like the regular classes. You know, I mean, I didn't do good at fucking English and the math and all that shit. But like all facts. My like stuff that was like film classes and I was really good at. I made really good friends with one of my teachers, and like high school, I was a fuck off. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, exactly. I did not get good grades or anything like that. But like in those classes, like I became like teacher's assistant. You know what I mean? Like in those classes, I remember like he did a quiz and like he had to like set the curve, and like because I was the only one that like got like 100 on the test, and like everyone else did like super bad on it. Like I was like super into the film classes. You know what I mean? So, which was surprising because you know I can't fucking read. I can't read. You know what I mean? Like I can't. Exactly. I mean I can read obviously, but like I get so like frustrated. Like I sit and have like read a book and all this stuff. And like I was actually really into it. You know what I mean?
Being interested in the things are always gonna help you. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you have to go to school and it's something you don't want to go to school to learn about, then yeah, it's definitely a waste. If you think you're gonna go to school and you're gonna take something out of it and you're super excited and you're like, you know what I mean? Like me, someone that was fucking skipping school all through high school and got terrible grades to all of a sudden like wanting to learn and wanting to be at school. Then I'm like, all right, you might get something out of it. But yeah, school's expensive and kind of a waste of money too. So it's like it's like super over expensive. Like, you know what I mean? But
to the point where it's like, fuck, I'm just gonna go on YouTube. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean, it's like, well, it's like nothing if I got a job in the industry at a young age, I would have learned it all eventually through working. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I mean, you know, it's sooner or later type deal. I mean, I get you. I mean, I just think it's one of those things where it's like, you know, the idea of kind of like, I don't know, like going to class and like having to do homework on something that's like has to be hands on, to me always just fucking killed it for me. To like, why am I gonna go to school for that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It kind of sucks, but I mean, I've met a lot of people. I mean, even recently, that go to school for it, and you know, they say that you know they enjoy it. And then too, I feel like for me to go back, like you know, what I'm saying, just be like, oh, let me get a degree in it, whatever. Like, I was like, do I have to start at like the basic, like class 1? Like, oh yeah, I'm like I could teach the class, like you know, not like that, but it's like you know,
I know exactly what you mean, because like same thing. I didn't go to school until I was 23. So I was already like out of high school, already had jobs. I think I fucking, you know, a bunch of like different construction jobs, or I worked in auto body shops for a long time. I worked on cars for a long time. And then I think I started, because my family has a construction business, and I just never like wanted to do it when I was younger. So I was like, I was gonna work on cars, and I was like painting cars and doing that. Did that for a while, and then odd job like plumber, construction, roofing, fucking plowing, all that fucking shit. Warehouse job, and then finally I went to start going to school, but then I also at the same time like joined the union with my family and started like working with them, because it was good money. And then like I wasn't ever sure, like now I'm going to school, but like now I'm like a couple of years in, I know what working's like, and I'm like, I want to go to school. I want to see if I can take this filming thing, because I'm like, I don't want to. I mean, I look at my family, and like I'm like one of the youngest cousins or whatever, but like I have, you know, it's like my grandfather started the business, all my uncles and everybody, you know, all my cousins, I have like a lot of cousins stuff, all do it, and you know, they're all I'm probably like 8 years younger than all of them. But I mean, now they're all like,
it's a crazy tree.
They're like, you know, they all have good lives.
Good
You know what I
lives.
mean? But they work hard. It's like hard work. But they all have
backbreaking work.
houses and families with multiple kids. Now it's like, I mean, they just have like stable lives, what you didn't expect. And I'm still like up and down doing this fucking art shit. You know what I mean? So it's like there's that.
Somebody
But it's like you just gotta do like I'm happy.
You're
You know what I
happier.
mean? Like even though I'm not fucking that financially stable, you know what I mean? Like someone with a steady job and a job with like benefits and a job that's, you know what I mean? Like just being out on my own. Like people, that is one thing people don't understand, like doing this stuff, and you understand.
Oh no,
it's not a lot of money in it. Like
it's
this
not.
is definitely something you have to do for passion. There are jobs you make a lot of money.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
definitely.
Like there's the up and down. It's like you can have a job and like and you could kill it and be chilling for a while, and then you can just you obviously stay working, but most jobs aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't a lot, you know what I mean? And you still like I still do a lot of shit for free. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like you never stop. You know what I'm saying?
No, you never stop.
You never stop. And I think, somebody had just asked me. I ended up doing a podcast for somebody interviewed me, and they asked me the same thing. Like, I hate this fucking question. I'm sorry you might see that, but I just fucking hate this question because he's like, oh, what would you tell somebody that's trying to do the freelancing thing too if they, maybe teeter and want to have a job? I said, get the job.
Yeah.
Like, unless, like, the fact is that if you are thinking of doing something else or trying to do this and thinking that this is going to be like just rainbows and flowers, you might as well just go get the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. You might think snapping cameras and all that's very easy. It's fucking backbreaking mental work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's going to be a lot of downs.
There's a lot of downs.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost more downs than ever, but it's kind of like the rule of thirds thing where it's like, sometimes you're going to feel happy. There's a portion of that. There's going to be a portion you're going to feel fucking shitty, want to quit. And then there's other times where you're kind of just like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of the middle one. You know what I'm saying? But it's the things that you accomplish are what kind of makes you keep going and lets you know, things are not all that bad. You know what I'm saying? But I will definitely say, if you're out here trying to, nickel and dime it or try to figure it out, or you're thinking about getting into film, which again is great.
Well, I mean, you can. There are jobs in film where you can
just
be in the union, work on film sets, and just it's a job.
But you
know
still
what I mean?
need
But
another job behind that one.
What we do is like, it's hard to explain what we do to people. Like people don't get it. And I recently,
I stopped trying to explain it a long time ago.
I know, and then like I had Trippy was just here, and then he had a show in Boston, so it was like the night before, and they're like, "Yo, you want to go to Boston tomorrow? Like tomorrow morning?" I was like, "What?" They're like, as usual. I'm like, "What is it?" And there's like, "Oh, I have a show tomorrow. We're just gonna fly in, and then we're gonna fly right out." I'm like, "Okay, I'm from Boston," so I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Exactly.
So then I'm calling my mom and my brother and like my cousin, and I'm like, "Yo, what are you guys doing? I'm gonna be in Boston tomorrow." They're like, "Oh, come." I'm like, "Well, do you want to come to the show?" Because I'm like,
that's the only time
I'm
you're
like,
gonna
that's
be
the
able
only
to
time
see
you're
me.
gonna be able to get to see me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's gonna be like in and out. I'm not gonna be able to leave and go see you or anything like that. My mom was busy, but my little brother and two of my cousins came, and so I didn't even get to see them before the show. You know what I mean? I got them all set up, and they got in, and then they obviously got to see me kind of like
work
on stage, which might
to
be
them,
cool for them.
It's
You know what I
super
mean?
cool for them.
So moving around and doing that, and then like after they came backstage, and then. We're hanging out, we're talking to them. Trippy's, there's like a common area, then all the little green rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're kind of Trippy's in his room, and we're sitting there, and then we're talking for a while, and we're hanging out, and then Trippy comes out, does a quick like meet and greet, takes a couple of photos of people, and then he's ready to go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I'm like, yeah, we're talking. I'm like, see Trippy going out the door. And I hear Chris, and I'm like, oh, all right, guys, love you, boom,
yeah,
gone.
exactly.
Like I
just
left them standing there. I'm like, I gotta go. Well, I can't even. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
It's fast.
It's
fast.
You can kind of because they were already like saying like, oh, I love how spontaneous you are. You just come to Boston like that. I'm like, I'm just following someone around. Like you don't understand. Like my life is just when you step into it. Like all right, Trippy's here for 2 weeks. It's like. You're usually just following them around constantly at whatever they want to do and go, and you have to follow them around where they go. If they want to go shopping, you're going shopping. If they want to go get some meat, you're going to get some meat. If they want to go home, we're going home. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
there's not a lot of and not to make it sound like we're puppy dogs because it's not that, but at the same time,
you have to be there.
Yeah, you have to, but you have to. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the only person there getting any type of moment whatever, because you know things kind of come at you fast. But it's like you're the last and only like person there to get people laughing at whatever certain pictures. If the fan wants a picture, you're taking a picture. Like you dictate a lot of that, all of the media part of that person's life.
Yeah.
So it's like, unfortunately, you kind of have to be a flash drive. Like that's pretty much what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's very fast. It's almost to the fact where it's like people think you're not being human with them, and it's like it's not that. It's that if I don't leave with them, then I'm in Boston forever. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be that. So but I don't know. Again, it's hard to really put into words. You kind of have to do it. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? But
it's a lot of hurry up and wait too.
Yeah,
it's a lot of hurry up. And then you're just waiting for whatever. Hurry up. And then we're at the store, and then they're shopping. You know what I mean? So you're just like, you get up and film some stuff, take some photos, and then you just sit back and chill. And so
and it's like, and then I hate where's your camera now? Because you've been standing in the same spot for 40 minutes. What do you think? What many angles you want me to get from the same spot?
Yeah, like, well, I mean that too. I think at this point too, I got good at like knowing kind of like it's hard. It's hard to tell because like you don't know what is going to happen at any time. So it's better to be filming as much as possible. But I kind of like know when I'm like getting stuff for a vlog or whatever. Like I kind of like am good at like keeping it quick. Like I'm knowing what to get. I'm like, all right, that's enough. I don't need to because I overshoot. You know what I mean?
No, I
like,
do, but you should.
But you should.
But
like,
you should.
You should. In hindsight, and you look at some of the, you know what I mean? It's like, it's good thing I did. You know what I mean? So it's like,
we shoot long to cut as short as humanly possible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even with nowadays, just with people's attention spans, like you can't have like, it's almost, unless you, again, like with you have a fan base, but a lot of people that don't have fan bases are trying to make 30-minute vlogs. It's like, bro, like they're going to probably get 15 minutes maybe into that, and then like that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's I don't know, it's become harder. But I mean, at the end of the day, too, archivers. You know what I'm saying? That long cut could be, for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's it's an art. I feel like that is an art at the end of the day, But I kind of do. These tangents are crazy. But we keep kind of wanted to circle back into how you kind of did the whole Juice thing, because I know if I don't ask that, these comments are gonna be full of like, you didn't fucking ask the question. So you dig. So let's just you briefly get into that.
Yeah. I mean, I met Juice when I worked at No Jumper. He came early on for an interview. It was before he was signed. I think it was when he came to LA to get signed. And then that's how we met, and we kind of like hit it off right away. Juice was the type of person to figure out what you guys relate about, and then like that's your connection, and it like really just builds off that. You know what I mean? And he's friendly to everyone. You know what I mean? So, and then we just hit it off about like motorcycles and dirt bikes and stuff like that, and then, throughout the year, that was early 2018, and throughout that year, met up with him a few more times to do vlogs with him and stuff. And then, just one day went over there, and he's like, come over tomorrow. And I came over the next day, and then I was like, come over tomorrow. And then I came over the next day, and then I never left. It was like I never left. I still worked at No Jumper for a while, and then after like the No Jumper thing, and then it was just Juice full time. So that was because I was already like months in just like going No Jumper during the day, and then working with Juice, like going to his house right after and just being with him all night. And then, whatever. Whenever I wasn't doing something, I was just with Juice. And then, so after that, then it was just Juice full time. And then eventually I moved in with them, had a room at the house and everything. So that was it. We were just fucking...
Exactly.
Went there one day, and he was just that type of person. You know what I mean? And then like, just never left. I mean, he was the type of person to make friends with everybody, but like, he was also selective about like people who keep like, and he didn't have a lot of people around. Like there are rappers I hang out with that have a lot bigger like entourages or whatever, and like he kept it pretty tight. It was pretty small, so it was cool. It was chill. He was like, it was really chill and like nice working with him, especially like, I tell people this all the time, like, everybody's different. Some rappers want to go and party and do stuff after, or be around a lot of people, and it was always just end up us back in the hotel room after like a giant show or whatever, and it'd be back in the hotel room and just me, him, Ali, Max, maybe someone else or whatever, and like just be recording all night. Or if it wasn't that, it would just be us like watching fucking Netflix. Like nothing, like it never did anything. Unless he was like getting paid to do an appearance, like same thing at the house. You know what I mean? It was like the same routine. It was just like hang out during the day, then he'd hang out for Allie for a while, and then like at night just be in the studio. Like we're all kind of hanging out. And then, you know, go ride the dirt bikes for a little while in the middle of the night, rip them around the fucking town, come back, you know, record more and shit, and like
I mean, it's very interesting just because I mean, you know, like we was talking about before we started. You know, and this ties into what we were talking about just before, but you know, the idea of like, you know, people shooting or being a specific person for a specific person. Yeah. Like, and the fact that it's like, you know, you really have to cover the entire media pool of what, you know, they would want, and, you know, that entire thing, and just kind of talk about kind of how, I want to like to word this correctly, but like, you know, just kind of like what that's kind of like for one exact person. Because I mean, you could talk about the Trippy thing, but Trippy is that's kind of new in a sense. Yeah. But something like that went on for, you know, a very long time. You know, what's that kind of like? You know, just for you in a sense.
So I mean, with Juice, it was we decided to do a documentary. We talked about that's what we talked about, and we started filming, and it was going to be a vlog. You know what I mean? Then it was like, you know, one day I'm like, all right, it'll be a 2-day vlog, and it was 2 days, and 3-day, and then I just like kept going over there and kept filming, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? And then I was like just getting footage. I'm like, should I make a vlog out of this? And I was like, I was starting to like panic in a way. Then I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna save everything. I'm like, I'm not gonna. Like, I'll do vlogs. Like I did stuff throughout. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I filmed stuff kind of at the same time for other things. Obviously, like my own stuff, and we'd film stuff like he'd be like, I want to film this for Instagram, or you know, I'm behind the scenes. I want, you know, for YouTube. We had other things planned out, but for the bulk of everything was like pretty much like just documentary. Yeah, and. I mean, I don't know. In a way, I mean, I've said this before. I feel like guys, he had Steve Cannon around. Oh, really? Yeah. That was filmed and stuff already too.
I forgot about it.
But we, I don't know. We just hit it off as friends, and I was just filming, and I think in a way it was kind of like an excuse for us just to hang out all the time. You know what I mean? Like it really kind of was like, all right, we're just gonna film a documentary and we'll just film forever. You know what I mean? So like, exactly. But like I was like obviously like if he needed other stuff, like you know, his manager would be like, oh, we need a clip of him doing this for the Instagram or something. You know, we would take care of it, and then. I'm obviously shooting photos, so he'd have his Instagram photos all the time. And then, but I also became like his like assistant. So like I was doing more than just filming. Cause like on the day to day, like I was just doing random like errands and stuff like that. So like I became an assistant to him. And he had other, you know, but there was other dudes in the house that were too. But I would just be doing random shit for him all the time, like, and that was like kind of part of it, and like. You know, whatever. Go pick up food. Go get me a fucking Jewel or fucking, you know what I mean? Or exactly. Go to the grocery. You know, just watch the dogs, and like I was just, you know, just doing random shit. So it became more than just filming. Like, and we became more than just like we became really good friends. Like he became a really good friend to me. Like, and I knew this before I really started being with him full time. When I was still just kind of hanging out with him, like after work or whatever. Like he'd be on tour in Europe, and he's just FaceTiming me just to talk. You know what I mean? Like for real, just FaceTime me just to talk, or just, you know, he knows that something that was bothering me. Like he literally calling me like, "Yo, you okay?" Like I know that shit was bugging you and shit. Like I was like, "Oh man, this kid is like a good friend." Like you know what I mean? Like fuck.
I mean, and I mean, I think and that's kind of what I wanted to. That's what I wanted out of that. You know, just kind of showing like, you know, the fact that, you know, you become, you know, as long as you're a genuine person, and, you know, and everything about, you know, genuine is like the realistic, like the biggest thing that I push on here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a regular fucking person. People don't know how to be regular people anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a regular person at the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's the fact that, you know, you build those rapports with people, and, you know, they really become, you know, that half of you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you spend so much time of just them, you know, giving them all your attention, you know what I'm saying? Because you're doing, you know, again, all their media stuff and whatever the case is, and they're really heart-to-heart things when they're talking to the camera, you know what I'm saying?
With
same idea.
You know, like I would say Juice, Trippy, and Ski are like my main, like I've done like the closest personal like photography and stuff with. and all of them are super genuine people. And like I consider them all real friends. You know what I mean? Like 100%. Like had deep. You know what I mean? Meaningful. They're more than just an artist. You know what I mean? Like to me, they're not just. Now it's like past for me. It's past that. Like they're an artist. It's like secondary. They're just a person that was like
a friend of mine that makes music.
Yeah, exactly. A friend that also makes music and might be insanely popular and fucking rich, but like whatever. But it's like no, like we're really good to me, like Trippy, and that whole crew. And I've said this before too. Like were really good to me. I went on tour with them like right after Juice died. You know what I mean? I was only supposed to be on tour for like 2 weeks. And then they all fucked with me, and then they're like, "No, you should stay for the whole tour." And like they were all really cool to me. They made me feel like part of the group, and like they made me feel like actual friends. You know what I mean? Like almost right away, and they are all like they're all still like I mean. I hang out with them all usually. When they're here because they moved to Miami, but they're all good people. They're all you know what I mean. So like that was like a real moment in my opinion, you know what I mean? Like they didn't have to fucking give a shit about anything, So and like saying I have real conversations with Trippy. I feel like you know what I mean. I can say whatever to Trippy, and he wouldn't be like, you know what I mean? Like if about anything, if I had like I could just be open with them. You know what I mean about anything, like fucking filming. Let's do this. Nah, let's not do that. That's stupid. Let's do it this. Whatever. Like. So,
you can voice your opinion. You're at that point.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? No, I mean I think that's great. And I mean I kind of want to, since speaking of the three people that you shoot the most and all that type of stuff. It's so interesting that you like how you shoot. I've been we've been in the same room multiple times, and I've always I fucking pay attention. I'm a fucking we're all the same group, so it's just like it's funny seeing the outside in, but it's the way like with the pictures that you pick that you post. I mean, you can tell they're they're not edited, or at least some of them I know aren't.
No.
Okay, good. I don't either.
Good.
Newsflash. You know what I'm saying? I don't edit shit. But anyway,
which I don't have anything against, but I just feel for what I do, I like my style to be raw and authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it is what it is.
It makes the most sense. And I mean, especially like I said, people that like us predominantly shoot film. There's not a lot of like editing that you can do to film just because of how the chemicals are kind of already placed. And then on top of how they scan it and what they scan and, all the type of shit like that and all the stuff that you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good after you, like, if you try to put like a heavy edit on it. It doesn't look the best. It's just, so I just said, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever film stock I'm using that day is the edit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I want to speak on just the fact where it's like my whole thing, I put you, and this is gonna sound crazy. I'm probably gonna get killed for it, but it's all right. But like you and Gunnar Stall in the same area. Like
I mean that's to me is
and I say that because of the type of pictures. I have a big issue with people that and this again sound crazy, but like I have a big issue with people that go out and shoot these notable people and like they're not looking at the camera, but it's not like a not looking at the camera as far as like a candid. It's more like you were on the side of them and they were already looking one way, and you took that picture and you put your watermark on it and was like, I hate you. Like, you know what I mean? I hate that type of stuff.
No, I feel you.
But you have very candid, real moments in these pictures to where you can tell, like, what they're making funny faces and people like, again, I fucking hate saying that, but like people like us that know that these artists are very fucking like, I need to look like this in all these pictures. Or you have these, these very, very popular sought after artists that are making funny ass faces in these pictures or, doing something, just whatever. It's a very personal picture. Yeah. All of your pictures are like that. And that's what I'm saying. Gunner's is kind of always the same thing. That's kind of why he got, as famous as he is because all his pictures were very like in the moment. Yeah. It's right then and there. It's not, stand here, pose here. It's just a fucking picture. Yeah. The picture speaks 1,000 words. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to give you your flowers on that. Because I don't think you get enough credit as far as like the realm of photographers that we're in. Like, you don't get enough credit.
No, that's a big compliment. I don't think I'm up to Gunner's.
But because you got to think about it. Like, Gunnar is a very experimental person.
Yeah.
And that's really what sets him apart from a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? But it's also the fact that he has fucking like, people will give him this stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only thing that's gonna set up, and enough to be able to come up with his stuff on his own with these huge artists, or his first ideas are being broadcasted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With us, where it's like, we're still, doing things and stuff like that, but you might see, the idea that the artist might have wanted, and we just did a good job making it happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
the two halves. You know what I'm saying? But I was saying, I put you in that realm of people that that do that, because it's very hard to do what you do to make it look how it looks, as somebody that does it all the time. And for it to be like, oh, this is a good fucking picture.
I appreciate
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Thank
So no,
you.
I mean,
Thank you.
I wish I had like one of those little fucking like things that do like the round of applause, because you definitely deserve. Like, you definitely got it. But I kind of want to speak on like why you go that route instead of making the the clean portrait picture of so and so. You know what I'm saying? Like what why?
I don't know. It's something about, and this is how I used to edit these little behind the scenes for my BMX stuff. It all has just been the same. It's just I like just real, just natural, what it is.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't I don't know. I like it being like as authentic as it is. Like,
I hope you weren't ready for that question. I was waiting for ask you that shit too. I was just saying, 'cause I think you was gonna be ready for it, but I get you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get you. I mean, it's a, not to cut you off. I hope I didn't cut you off.
No.
But no, like I just it's just very it's if you've been doing that forever, which I'm gonna guess you have, because like I said, I've seen your older work anyway.
Yeah.
But it's done so the fact where you can tell like it wasn't like it was meant to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've even seen like when like certain things where Trippy's about to hug Sky, your camera's already out.
Yeah.
You're already bent. You're already doing this, and it's like I don't know. It's just like it's actually crazy.
Yeah, you just have to know. I don't know. I know it's gonna happen. I'm like, oh, they're about to hug. I could be a good photo. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking. That's why I always have my. If you see me when I'm at the house, I always have my camera around. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Like I just keep it there, and then like if I see something, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that could be a good moment. Like that's a good moment. Oh, that's a good moment of them together.
Yeah.
Or all of a sudden, like Trippy gets up and starts doing stuff. I'll just put my camera on. I'm like, oh, maybe
Maybe.
might be something cool. You know what I mean?
Something could happen.
If I can get him to stop for a second and take a portrait, you know what I mean? Like whatever. I mean, we were shooting hard those couple weeks, so I took a lot. I took like 15 rolls of film. So.
I did 8.
Yeah.
I did 8. You know what I mean? I feel you, but Jesus Christ, 15 is crazy.
Yeah, we shot. Well, he just kept changing outfits. He wanted like content for
Later stuff.
Yeah,
later
stuff.
As you should. You know what I mean? It's the whole point of why we do it. You know what I mean? How do you feel about books?
I'm gonna do a book.
When? Because
I want to do it in 2023.
Okay.
I got to get on it. I go on drop it this year because I want to name it. I don't know if I'm jinxing this or whatever. I want to name it 5 years. I started doing the portraits with on film with rappers in 2018.
Okay.
So this will be coming up on doing it for 5 years. So I want to name the book 5 years and just drop a book of the best pictures
that you've
for the
taken.
past 5 years.
That's a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
No, that's hard.
Yeah. There's a lot, and I have like just over. I have between like 12 and 13,000 photos. So. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And a hard drive just I hope it's in a hard drive. Yeah. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
13,000 pictures. Even though like
it's like people shoot a lot more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like it's just.
But these are
film. That's all film.
It's film. Like,
and when you think about it too is like, and I get prints, so I have all prints, and I pretty much pay for it all myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes you do a shoot and you get paid for a shoot, but like you think about a lot of it. You know what I mean? It's like I'm just out. A lot of it's just I'm just out taking photos.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like a week if I'm working with Trippy, obviously I'm getting paid, so like that covers stuff. But like
exactly.
on the day to day, if I'm just hanging out, like if I'm just hanging out with Trippy for whatever amount of time. And I'm still shooting photos.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. So
I think it's also noble too that I feel like people stop printing their work, and I fucking hate it. Like you gotta print your work, even if it's digital, whatever the case, just print it.
Yeah. Like I got prints of everything that I've shot. I do both. I get the digital and the print. And I put them in photo albums. even
Really?
though I'm backed up and it's,
Fucking folder somewhere just
they're
sitting
stuffed in
whatever.
there's a fucking box of fucking pictures. But yeah, I try to stay up on doing like the photo album thing.
I think that's so cool though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And just in order too, so you can like go through
so
it.
it's in a like a grandmother's house. You got like a grandmother's scrapbook.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Just, you know, the most random shit. Like I mean, obviously you see what photos I'll post on like my stories or on Instagram, whatever,
Yeah.
but like there's just so many photos people haven't seen. There's just so many.
Always
There's just so many different, like, you know, people always ask me about Juice photos, but there's so many rappers. That
No,
been
that's
around.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think people don't understand that either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might cut this out because it sounds crazy. But like, when you're around somebody that even if it's whatever level, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna meet 90 other people, which are 90 other pictures. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so realistically, like that's what I'm saying. You shot damn near everybody just from the span of, you know what I'm saying. You have a picture of Kim Kardashian.
I have a couple.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, do you
I
understand?
shot
Like,
her several, like two different occasions.
it's just very random.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
Yeah.
man, like
Super random people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think like, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine, it's another photographer, does the same thing. He does a lot of things with like, not even gonna say that, but he's a good guy. And we
Yeah.
were talking about, you know, like, you know, we could post pictures every single day for like a year,
Oh, yeah.
at least a year or two. You know, if we're gonna be like completely honest with the shit that I don't post,
Yeah.
just because like I hoard all my pictures for like just because I don't feel like I need to share everything.
Yeah, I'm already mad that I post a lot of photos that I've posted. I'm like, I shouldn't have posted those. I hate posting stuff on Instagram.
I honestly like I do it to stay relevant. Like sometimes because I'll know like for instance like because I've been working with Scott, so it's like the pictures that we did for like that whole whatever week or whatever how many days that was that she was here. I'm like I know I'm gonna post whatever she posts.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying. But like all the other ones I might just put in this book or like whatever the case is, or just let her post
because
them
that
or
is the
whatever.
thing too. Is like obviously if I do a book, some of the photos that are probably out there are gonna be in the book. But
and I try my best not to do
But there's
that.
so many that are gonna be most are gonna be unseen photos.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
it's very hard to like I don't know differentiate sometimes. But I don't like posting. If I didn't have to like besides posting these, like I don't think I'd ever post another like thing again. Just for the fact where it's like people are posting to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Like I'm posting so the algorithm doesn't think like I'm a dead.
I mean, I'll post stuff on my story stuff, but yeah, like posting on my feed is super rare. But you know, I just don't like doing it. But yeah, I mean, I have to once in a while, and I obviously want to keep fans and people happy too. Then I want to see work, and I get that too. So
You know, you have to be, you know, it's for the greater good. You know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, but I mean, so even moving from, I feel like this is going so well. I feel like this is going so well. I don't know. You're such an interesting guy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So wait, so what do you shoot with right now?
Context, the T3.
Nothing else, just that one.
That's just Right
The fact that you even have one is crazy. You bought one recently? How long have you had it?
This one I've had almost not even a year yet, but I had one. Before.
You had one when I met. You had the same one when I met you last time.
Yeah, but I dropped it one night.
Oh yeah, this one.
Like I was getting out. I was like working with Ski. It was last year around this time actually. With Ski, and then this is what I think what happened is that I was with him, and then we were going back to his hotel, but where we were passing where my car was parked. Yeah. Because I met him at like a restaurant. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, stop, let me get my car, and then I can just follow you the rest of the way, because we were gonna go to the hotel and then some party, and then I'm like, that way I can just dip from the party and go home, you know?
Smart.
I think when I got out of we were in like a Suburban, like black truck or whatever. Yeah. I think when I got out, because I heard something fall, but I looked and I didn't see anything. Under the car. I think the camera fell on the side of the road. This is on like Melrose Ave.
Oh, yeah, it's gone too.
But it was at night. This was like 2 a.m. or something.
Oh,
It was like super late. There are no cars, no people around. So whatever. I think I heard something fell. I didn't see anything, whatever. But I didn't realize my camera was gone. So I get in my car, go to the hotel. We didn't even go upstairs. Like he ran upstairs. Like we sat in the lobby and waited. Then we went to the party, which was like kind of in the valley. And it took like 20 minutes to get there. 15, 20 minutes to get there. So we get there and we get into the house and we're walking around. And as soon as we're in there, I reach for my camera to put it around my wrist. And then I'm like, oh fuck, where's my camera? Then I
start tweaking.
Run to my car and search my car. It's not my car. And then I run to the Suburban. Yeah. And I'm like, let me check the Suburban because maybe it fell out in there. Yeah. And it's not in there. And then I'm like, holy shit. So I just get in my car and I just race back to where my car was parked. And then I'm looking up and down the road. I just couldn't find it.
That's fucked.
Yeah, it was fucked.
That's
It was so back to that fucking dumbass camera is like $3,000.
No, it's
like straight up that camera. Like the one I just bought, it was like $3,000. And it's like, why is it so much money?
Bro, you gotta stop doing. Look, man, let me tell you.
I have insurance on my camera equipment.
I didn't say we talked about that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like I said, bro, I bought 2 T2s. Everybody thinks my pictures are on T2s.
I mean, I had a T2 before.
Oh, they're great cameras, but they fucking break so easily. Like
I had a T2 before. Honestly, I didn't like it.
Really?
I didn't like the way the flash made my photos. Maybe it was just my particular one.
Really?
Because I mean, obviously some are whatever. But I didn't like the way it was like. It was making my photos too washed out.
Really?
Yeah, too overexposed. So I was like, I didn't really like the T2.
Really? No, I didn't. I feel like I like really powerful flashes, just because I feel like
I do, but it was just washing out the photos so bad. And the T3s, like,
it's the right amount of flash.
I don't know. It just takes fire photos.
No,
you know what I mean? It just takes fire photos. But I love my Yashicas too. The T4s.
Yeah,
that's like my favorite. Like the T3 and the T4s, like are my favorite cameras.
I had a T4 too. I had 2 of them, and the fucking.
I've had like 4 of them.
Yeah. The fucking. But I had them before they turned into $600 cameras.
Yeah, my first one I bought was like $200.
Same.
Yeah,
it was $298. I remember because I was like,
I was looking there like $1,000 now.
Oh no, you can't get a Super D for nothing. Like it's almost. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The famous people ruin these cameras, bro.
I know.
Like, you taking pictures of them in a mirror and you fucked it up. Between that and the YouTubers, and I love the YouTubers, I really do, because you guys let us know, cameras are good or bad. You know, I feel it. But it's like you guys have 480K subscribers. They're all gonna go buy them. If they don't already own them, they're gonna sell them out. And now they made them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like.
I know, and I don't have a working Yashica right now, and I need a have a working one.
Yeah,
I need at least a backup camera too, you know. But I don't even have a working one. The one I had broke, so I have to get another one. But I just haven't wanted to drop in on it yet, like with the money.
I'm not mad at you. The camera that you see me with, I told you I broke the front off.
Oh yeah.
So I taped it. It was cool for a minute.
Yeah.
Then the tape finally came off. I lost the front, so I said, you know what? If it still focuses, I'll just use it. Yeah. So I did like a whole roll, like just with a friend of mine, and just to see if it was gonna work. When I got him done, the way the flash is, if you don't have that front piece on it, it's like the brightest fucking thing on earth. And I was like, so you're telling me that this like it diffuses it before? Like it was the dumbest thing ever. The pictures came out okay, but they didn't come out like
good.
Enough for me to be like, okay, like this is fire, but fucking horrible. So
Yeah.
I just bought a new one today that I know nothing about.
Well, the thing is, and I tell people this all the time, it doesn't matter what kind. You can buy some $50 whatever camera. You know what I mean? It's still gonna. I mean. I don't know.
There's a difference, though.
I mean, every camera does look different.
And I say that I'm fucking cutting you off. I keep cutting you off.
No, you're fine.
But I'm saying, like, it's just again, I never get to talk about cameras enough. So you know what I'm saying. So, but it's because like the difference between I feel like is because if you're shooting it for the aesthetic, the least amount of money you can spend on it is probably the better, because it's gonna give you that fucking disposable look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I tell people all the time, like, you can use a disposable. I have plenty of photos in those 12,000 photos. There's a bunch of disposable photos in there for sure. You know what I mean? Like, probably a dozen. You know what I mean?
I've done the same thing. And I mean, especially if I don't have one or it's in the mail and I'm just I still need to do something, like, whatever. But like, I feel like if you're shooting a little bit more professional stuff, you kind of want to dive into the more professional cameras, and that's the thing. So it's like, don't take, again, shoot fucking digital. Like, the way that they're charging for portrait right now is menacing. I spent $35 on 2 rolls of portrait. I said, excuse me.
And the thing is like, I actually love the Portrait 800.
Oh yeah,
love it.
Good luck.
I know.
Good luck.
I have to buy more.
Yeah,
I just used it all with Trippy, but
and the fact you're shooting 800,
that film with the T3, it's like the photos are just fire.
No, it's great. I feel like anything with portraits fire. I like Superior though. Like,
man, me too. That's what but I'm running low. I've like hoarded 1600 and 800, and for the past 5 years, that's been my main film.
How?
Most of my, because I bought right before they stopped selling it, I bought a shitload of it, and I just kept it in the refrigerator, and I've been using it.
I should have did the same thing when they got rid of what's the Fuji? I can't remember. It's the one that everybody uses. Like Gunnar made that one popular too, and then they stopped selling it.
I mean, that one.
The
1600.
Yeah, the 1600, but it's the 400 version of it. They have a 400 version.
Yeah,
and I can't remember the name because why would I remember it now? But I can't remember it. But they got rid of it. They they did away with that entire line.
Yeah.
And there's the one store that I go to that, like, for film besides the other one we were talking about. They had like, I think like maybe like two of those, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, I could just buy like 8 of those, but instead of them being 25, I think they changed. It was like 44 roll. And I was like, you're telling me I gotta pay $80 for 2 rolls? So I still bought like $100 worth, but I was like, I still bought 2 packs honestly,
Yeah.
but I was just like, I think I had one left last year and I used it. And I was like, damn, I can't never get it again. Like, and then shooting expired film on fucking point and shoots is hell.
Yeah.
Like, you still shoot the other ones?
Yeah, I mean, I have a roll of 1600 on my camera right now.
Yeah. And I mean, how do you trick it? Because wouldn't it be like super crazy looking, or is it because it hasn't been old enough?
No, it's not that. I mean, I bought it when I bought. It's not that old. You know what I mean? It's only a few years old because I bought it when it was still good. Yeah. And then I mean, I've stored it in a refrigerator, and it's been my photos they look good still. I don't know, whatever, they look all right. Yeah. I don't know. Shit, man. When I use it, I just keep using it, but I'm running low. It's like I'm running to the end of it, so I'm gonna be pretty much like Portra.
Gotta try
800.
You gotta try eBay.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'll be able to get it like here and again, but I'm at the stash that I had because I had like hundreds of rolls. No, I bought a lot. I bought like thousands of dollars worth of the 1600 and the 800. Yeah.
You're a fucking monster.
I was like, this shit's going out. I'm like, I love this film. I can't. I'm gonna be ready. So I just ordered it and fucking went and picked it up and just fucking. That's what I've been using. That's what my aesthetic was in the beginning. I'm like, I want to keep doing this. You know what I mean? So, but slowly, I've been like doing the Portrait 800 and stuff. So
the rumor is now that the Superior is just repackaged Portrait form or repackaged, either repackaged Color Max or repackaged something Kodak, because they moved the company stateside. And now the factory is the same factory as Kodak or some shit like that. So now, like, because I'll show you, like, the one that I just shot was Superior. Yeah. It's warm. Yeah. So I've never seen warm Superior before. Yeah. And I'm like, and then somebody told me, it was like, oh yeah, because it's Kodak. I said, so, crazy. And I was like, that's annoying, but I'm like, okay, at least they're not gonna, they just can't get rid of any more shit, because they've gotten rid of so much stuff now. I don't
understand why they get rid of it.
Because of fucking demand. This wasn't supposed to come back. It's like fucking like record players. It wasn't supposed to come back. But now the fact that it's coming back so much, they can't source the shit. Like all the minerals and all the chemical stuff to make it, they can't find it. Because they've neither used it all, or the place that they were getting it from in the 80s, it was was plentiful there, but now that hole's gone. Or whatever, this is gone. So now they had to get rid of it.
I know nothing about that shit.
Yeah, no, I looked into it just because during COVID, there was nothing to do. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to lie. I was fucking bored as fuck during COVID. So I was like, I was still outside a lot, unfortunately. Same. Had no choice. But,
doing what we do, it's easy.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
It was great.
I never caught it. And I never caught it. Yeah. Not once. But
I didn't catch it until last year.
That's fucking horrible. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Last Christmas, I got it.
At least it was during Christmas, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You hang out. But yeah, no, I was in like a fucking clubhouse thing, because Clubhouse was big back then. So listening to people talk about it, and and they were like, oh yeah, they don't have enough to do this. The same reason why they did. That's the reason why they got rid of the shit that you've been using, and we've both been using, just because they couldn't make it anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is, but it is, man. But look, this has been great. This has been an amazing conversation, guys. I just realized we've been here for like an hour and some change, so I have it might be a part 2 to this at some point, maybe later down the line. Anytime. Especially when he's about to drop his book. I definitely want him back on there. We talk about it, go through it, whatever. But look, man, you're a super camera guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? I definitely hope from here on out they at least give you the respect and credit. Not just as Juice's fucking photographer. You're a fucking photographer, dog, and you're good at it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Better than most. So I appreciate you from being on here, man. You know what I mean? And any last words?
No, thank you very much for the supports. I appreciate everyone. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want my art to live forever. Yeah, that's all I care about. I don't care about me. I just want the fucking photos and stuff to last a lifetime. That's all I care about. But also, check out my website, chrislongfilms.com.
Oh, no.
Merch drops.
Everything is going to be in the description. His merch is great, guys.
I mean, they're just doing photo tees and like hoodies and stuff, but like just random photos I've been doing. So if you guys want specific artists, let me know. But yeah, and I mean, mostly it's been like Juice and Ski, and I'll probably do like a trippy one soon or something.
Might as well.
Or,
Why not,
I'll go through everybody.
Everything that has anything to do with Chris will be in the description. Support my man, please.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's been Life and Times with Chris fucking Long.
Appreciate you.
Bow.
Always know where a weapon is. It ain't shit to step on. Shit